John Seed is just a man. He seeks glory and riches. He immersed himself in a sea of self-aggrandizement. He pounds pulpits. He professes principles he neither believes nor practices. He stokes fear, but he's just a man. His time will come. There will be a time when he is no longer breathing. My hope is that it's sooner rather than later.
Look at this place. It's like America on a smaller scale. You have Eden's Gate, outsiders settled here looking for a better tomorrow, but they don't accept people with different beliefs. They lash out. Then there's you and the people fighting by your side, all colors, creeds, religions. Rather than be divided, you've come together as Americans to help each other out and remind Eden's Gate that this is a no-fly zone for fascist cults.
Everyone's got secrets they'll never tell. You heard of the Jackal, right? That arms dealer in Central Africa? Sure you have. Everyone has. Nobody knows what happened to him since his body was never found. I know. I wish I could tell you more, but the report won't be declassified until 2058.
A wise man once said that if space is big enough to hold anything, eventually it will. That means there's an Earth out there where people are swimming around in the water, and two scaly suckers are standing on the shore talking about how best to kill 'em. Neat, huh?
I bet you're thinking I got into making drugs for the money. Hey, joke's on you! Deputy, my dad was loaded. Took mad stacks when I dropped out and left home. Not that there was, much left after. He gave himself wholly to Joseph's cult, but fuck him! Using my poor little guinea pig like that? Hamlet, we'll never forget or forgive, will we, Deputy? But no! It's all about the art. The craft, the art craft. See what I did there? We're big bags of chemicals. I mean, who can resist dipping in a spoon and stirring? Not me. I mean, I've seen things, man. I've seen things. We're all one life form. You can't get it unless you've been there.
It's a beautiful day to kill me some Canucks.
Shit always hits the fan in a way you can't predict.
The real killers always come out at night.
Joseph and his minions are conducting wholesale slaughter in Hope County. It's beyond the pale. We have to stop them.
I don't believe in cleaning my gun, just like I don't believe in showering. I'm superstitious like that.
Here's a Marvel maxim. People don't want rich backstory. They want chaos and ridiculous physics-breaking stunts all linked together like a goddamn Rube Goldberg machine. That's all everybody wants. All the time. Ever. And anyone who strays from that is a money-wasting idiot.
I ain't got a lot of friends. A survivalist lets less people into their circle than the average person. Know why? Because it's better to be safe than sorry.
Pretty country. If they had a proper leader, they could make something of this place. Instead, they got their father.
As mayor, I failed to see just how much damage this bliss was really doing. My focus was in all the wrong places. Now, I'm not mayor, but you know what? You can bet your sweet butt that I'm zeroed in on what really matters. Winning the war on drugs. I don't need the darn title. I'll fight till all that stuff is off the streets. Not another parent is gonna suffer what I've suffered.
An old roommate used to make me what he called a sleepy time smoothie when we couldn't sleep. Man, it worked. Thought it was the valerian, but turns out it was sleeping pills. I was so mad. Like, at least use something all natural. Like rum.
Be careful. Charlie is sneaky and likes the night.
You've been on some tear. I heard you offed Jacob's Seed and helped those mountain people take back their land. I'll level with you. I didn't think it was possible to do that.
I had to take a beta blocker before I made my love confession to Betty. I recommend it. Beta blockers, not love confessions. Man, I'm done with those. Those'll kill you. It's science and my left hand from here on out. And Newton was celibate, I hear. I mean, maybe he was onto something.
You might be quietly judging me inside that head of yours. That's fine. I've been laughed at, loudly, in front of my peers and idols. The meritocracy of academia is an illusion. It's just another clique. You say the wrong things, and suddenly all your papers are rejected. CERN doesn't invite you back. You're off the mailing lists, and your funding dries up. It may be hard for you to imagine, but I used to be relevant, respected, before the contact.
Night vision goggles are for the weak. Don't rely on tech when you got your own 2 eyes and ears.
Every once in a while, I'll cross paths with a prepper whose conspiracy theories are 100% on the money.
Fuck, it gets dark out here.
Despite the situation, I can still appreciate the biodiversity here in Montana. It really is incredible.
So you're back from the bliss. Do I even need to spell out that all that shit ain't real? It's a powerful drug, Rook. Be careful around Faith. That's her turf. She knows what bliss can do. Look at everybody she's converted. All the brain-dead angels. Never let your guard down in there or you're toast.
Travel through the blackest night. In the forest hides a light. You'll find it if you follow me.
In my opinion, there are far better fish to catch than trout. But for any of my opinions to actually matter, I'd have to explain to you why I know, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that the external world beyond my own brain actually exists at all. Otherwise, having strong feelings about anything's kind of pointless, ain't it?
If you knew the way people use telescopes nowadays, lofting on a chair in their bedroom, eating Cheetos, gazing at space through a computer screen, the cosmos deserve our undivided attention, something that can only be achieved by simply propping a telescope atop a trailer in the middle of nowhere.
Adelaide is so smart. She writes poems, like this one. Little bro Buvist sat on his tuffet, drinking his casein and whey. The next part is private.
It's funny how life plays out, Deputy. For decades, I've been defending the Stars and Stripes from terrorists, bad hombres, and every variation of pinko you can imagine. Through it all, I never got a call from the guy in charge. He's the first. I mean, it was during my vacation, but still, it's an honor.
Scripture tells us that there is evil in the world, and that horrible things happen for reasons that do not make sense. In the words of Job, when I looked for light, then came darkness. A long time ago, in peaceful times, I asked John Seed what was driving him. He gave me so many answers. All of them lies.
You're the one that Dutch has been talking about, huh? Hope that you're as good as he claims.
If you make things yourself, you'll never be replaced by globalist manufacturing robots.
I hope you thank Pastor Jerome for rescuing you. Folks in the resistance were scared about hitting the cult's convoy. You should have heard the words he said about you. It was really moving.
What do you think of Virgil? I can't get a read on him. He's still got his mayor hat on and seems worried about taxes and municipal repairs as if things are normal. I don't think he likes that I left for school, but he looks out for Tracy, so who knows. Anyway, I'm glad your sheriff is here taking charge. Let's put it that way.
Finally, it's cooled off.
Listen, these people, mannequins are cast-offs, orphans, runaways. You know, if I don't find them a good home, who will?
I wonder if there's another fish like the Admiral swimming around out there, like his nemesis, you know?
You took the 3 most important people from Joseph Seed. Now, it's time you took what he's got left. His life.
I don't own a cat or a dog. Don't want the responsibility, and being a pet owner doesn't fit with prepper culture. You grow attached to them. They become a liability. Next thing you know, you make crucial mistakes because of a weakness. There's no room for weakness when it comes to survival.
When you hook a fish in the water, all the other fish get the hell away real fast. Now, why do you think that is? Why don't they grab onto their fish friend's tail and start hauling the opposite way? Seems to me more would survive if they worked together. But the pull of the line is real. The terror of being plucked out by that same line is too strong. So they leave their fish friend to their fate. But in the end, they're just gonna get plucked out by the same line.
That'll put a real dent in their plans. Thanks, Deputy. I'd normally be all fuck the police, but you're all right. Breaking the mold.
I admitted I wasn't sure about you at first. Thought maybe we couldn't trust you. But I've come around. You've pulled your weight.
Rumor has it Dutch has been planning for this type of situation for decades. And while he's not the only one, he's taken prepper culture to a whole other level. That bunker of his is probably the safest spot in Hope County.
I'm so happy we're on the same page about the bad guys here. Normally, I'd have to find a helpless American trapped in a far-off country and get them to do the dirty work. It's a moral gray zone, and it's a dirty part of my job. It's refreshing not having to do that with you, Deputy. You and I are after the same three things here: law, order, and justice.
Last time I was around these parts, I took down a 20-point buck out by McKinley Dam. Perfect shot.
I'm parched. I'm not sure if it's the drugs or the sunshine. Who am I kidding? It's the drugs.
I don't like it. It's too quiet. The festival just wouldn't be the same without the decorations. Most of all, the bells and whistles were put together from donations. That's just what the people do here. They want something, they give a piece of themselves for it. That's why I love this town. That's why we gotta give back. It's gonna be a happy time.
I'm empowered by the spirit of human liberty. No cultist demon can stand in your way.
I swear, every time I hear one of those fucking Peggies whining on about the end of the world, I want to smack 'em. It's always the goddamned end of the world. Every time something goes wrong, somebody insists the world is ending.
Oh, I'm getting better at not closing my eyes when I shoot. That's something to be proud of. Now I just got to apply that to firing a gun.
Hard as hell to find chocolate bars. Why'd the Peggies take them? I thought they hated delicious, fun, good things.
Took me a while before I realized none of that stuff makes you a better cop. In fact, probably makes you worse. No one likes a soldier showing up at their door. People stop talking, they get scared, nervous, angry. All before you even open your mouth.
Eden's Gate took this town right from under us. They started buying up all the land, forcing businesses to shut down and foreclosing on homes. My parents and me fought back, but John wanted this bar. Told him he'd have to pry it from our cold, dead hands. So the cult, they paid off the county and made it illegal to transport alcohol. We fought back with lawyers, but those leeches bled us dry too.
People like Dutch and Merle are the products of a system that betrayed them. Prepper culture is their faith. It's what they trust and believe in. You can learn a lot from people like that. But like everything else, take it with a grain of salt.
Gotta get my protein on ASAP. I'm wasting away eating survival bars.
Once I become senator, this state's gonna turn right around. You watch. I'm gonna drop the goddamn hammer on illegal aliens. Too many maple syrup-sucking Canadians sneaking into our country for our superior health care.
Preppers are such idiots. But if you need a can opener...
On Mars, the Earth is the brightest point of light in the night sky. Is something one of my boring colleagues would say.
Even with all the troubles, Montana knows how to paint a beautiful day.
Ma's the one who named my daddy's truck the Widowmaker. She said that it put him out on the road so much that it practically turned her into a widow. After he started using the rig to bust up the cult's roadblocks, the name fit another way, you know? In a day that goes by that I don't miss that ornery son of a bitch.
Hunting used to be great before those fucking Peggies moved in.
Lone wolf preppers are a myth. You gotta find people who think like you and watch each other's backs.
The Whitetails do their best work at night.
The pilgrimage is hellish. The infrastructure was supposed to be for a nature hike, they said. They told me it'd support our tourism industry. Now the wood footbridges are soaked with blood, right in our own backyard. How do we reckon with something like that?
Hey, maybe if there's something more fun than pharmaceuticals, people do that. But when it's like option A equals school, debt, work, hunger, shit, or like option B, feel like God has you in her womb, all cozy like. I mean, what are you gonna choose? Rat Park, you know? The government knows. You can't criminalize nature. Well, you can, but that makes you an asshat. Okay, sorry, deputy. Whoops.
I can feel this day being different than all the ones before it, and ahead.
Do you know for every one person in Hope County, there are 5 doomsday bunkers? Prepper paradise. This one guy, Les Doverspike, house is northwest, he thought he could prepare for everything. Didn't count on John Seed's lawyering superpowers. In the blink of an eye, Eden's Gate owned Les's land, bunker, arm, leg, dingleberries, everything. So, Les jumped in the bunker with all his possessions and booby-trapped the fuck out of it. I had to evict poor Les. I couldn't. So I told him to stay quiet as a mouse fart and wait out the cult. I should have probably checked on him, but... Aw, don't black out now. The party's just started.
You got a pest problem? I got one word for you. Flamethrower. Might be 2 words.
Dr. Charles Lindsay's an asset to our community. It's a shame he hasn't started a family. God knows his veterinary salary could support them. He's shy as a baby bird, that one. Changes the subject when I ask. Guess he's trying to stay focused on the crisis. He's a good man. Good man.
Most people don't see well at night. Not me. I'm like a cat. I see better.
You know how I know these Peggies are liberals? They're trying to take our guns. Looks like this cult really has the edge on us. It's 'cause people grew up believing that being a puppet makes you a man.
The moon reminds me of Eden's Gate. Seems all pretty and glowing when you're far away, but get close and you realize it's barren, pockmarked, and can't sustain life.
World's too greedy nowadays. All I need is grub and a gun, and I'm good.
I got a feeling this whole apocalypse thing is just a distraction for what the government is really plotting. The EEM, eradication of electronic money. Cult's got a lot of interest in that old gold mine. Maybe we're sitting on 10 times Fort Knox and we don't even know it. We're going back to hard copy, my friend. Bust out your tapes and VCR while you're at it.
Come to think of it, the Seeds work just like a political office. You got Joseph the mayor, and John, Jacob, and Faith as his city councilors. It's no wonder they forced me and my people out of office. They already knew how to play the game.
We're gonna win this. We're gonna destroy that cult and take this mountain back. As far as worries go, they ain't one of them.
All that drugging the cult's doing on animals comes straight from Jacob. You ever cross one of his judges? Big wolves he captured, dosed, and trained. Now they're testing on all sorts of wildlife, sick fucks. It's all about control.
The cult is pissed at you. I sure hope the rumors swirling around about that Hell on Wheels monster truck are just that. Rumors.
I always liked Hope County. My father and I used to come up here fly fishing with the governor.
The first time I got a lungful of bliss, I was out hiking. This was way before Eden's Gate got violent. I thought my vision was going because I'd been looking up at the night sky for so long. I thought the euphoria was being happy with my lot in life. I could see how people lose themselves in it. Whoever decided to use it sure as shit knew what they were doing.
Adelaide taught me to shoot. It was really hot. Having her arms around me, steadying my aim, she'd bite my ear when I missed the target. She stopped when she realized I was missing on purpose. Well, turns out I'm still not a great shot, and now holding a gun turns me on. Just like Chekhov's dogs. Oh, yeah.
The families of people who are missing and those being held unjustly deserve to be whole again. I've told everyone in the resistance, if you see someone being kidnapped by an Eden's Gate follower, do everything you can to save them. There's nothing more important.
This country, it's gone to hell. We ain't the greatest country no more. We let the government and the corporations run things instead of the people. Them politicians and bankers and CEOs, they don't give a shit about real people. We're just worker bees to them.
Endless specimens out there. Wouldn't mind getting some samples.
Peggy's got this thing with giving scopolamine to animals.
I was hoping that misery place wasn't what the stories made it out to be. I patched up a couple of cougars who came back from there, rambling. I didn't believe them. Christ. Makes me feel sick to think about it. Glad you had the stomach to end it.
Being chased out of my damn home wasn't exactly a new narrative. Now, just because someone's in my home, does that make it theirs? Is it a home at all? Does the building itself, intended to be a home, have a purpose if it isn't a home anymore? Jackasses.
You know what? I'd rather have these fucks sit at home yanking their dicks all day than be out here on set, because then they'd just be wasting their own time. But when they come out here and they do this kind of shit, then they're wasting my time, which is infinitely more valuable. Fix the fucking noise problem now!
There's a shelter from the storm. There's a fire burning warm. You'll find it if you follow me.
Goddamn eggheads say I'm not going to win this election. I don't trust them or the polls. Only losers have time to answer poll questions.
This place used to be so magical at night. Now with the Peggies and Angels, it's a darn scary world.
We gotta defend this prison if the resistance is gonna have any chance. There's food and beds, and most of all, it's fortified. Offers some of the best protection against those Eden's Gate shit disturbers. Could you imagine what would happen if they got a hold of it? It stays under our occupancy at all costs.
Heard you try to save the Woodsons. It's a damn tragedy to lose a whole family like that. On the plus side, with everyone in the family gone, they all went off to heaven together. Strange thing to say, but when there's nobody left to mourn the loss, it's almost better.
What are you waiting for, Deputy? I'm sure they taught you how to tail a bad guy at the academy.
I say, goddamn, it's a beautiful day.
Man, I just like vinyl because it sounds good. And you get all that cool artwork on a big-ass cover.
Just off the shore of the Drubman Marina's one of the weirdest damn fish I've ever seen in Earth's waters. And that's including all that weird stuff they find deep down, you know? There's an honest-to-goodness ghost fish in the waters near the Drubman's Marina. Goes by the name of Ragnar. Something the Drubmans put into the water, I don't know, but I've seen it. Ghost fish.
These globalist elite goblins have messed with the wrong human.
Keep it together, you're still in this.
Make sure you're armed. Don't want to lose no one to those Peggies.
You know, there was a time I never owned a gun, not even to hunt. I relied on God to fight every battle, to feed me, to keep me safe, to step in and dispense justice according to His will. That time's long gone.
TV really does rot your brain. The government lulls you into submission, feeding you their agenda both figuratively and literally. Why you think they market sugar cereals and cartoons to kids? Boom! Dopamine spike. Watching their mind control programs becomes hardwired as a pleasurable experience.
Best to stay safe behind the prison walls. Them Peggies can strike at night.
People have to treat guns with the respect they deserve.
It gets cold at night. Are you a green prepper? Seriously, that's a thing.
Heard you and Zip killed a bunch of Peggies at the old mine. That's good. But next time you get the chance, do me a favor. Blow up Zip and his conspiracy theories, too.
So you weren't killed.
University types. Think they have the monopoly on know-how. Well, I'd like to see them manage the MacGyver, and I've seen the fine folks of Hope County pull off.
Don't worry, with all the cult shit happening, nobody is gonna notice a few extra explosions, car chases, maimings. The entire shot list is full of dangerous stunts, and yeah, okay, there is a chance you may not survive, but we both know that the only way to make great art is by taking risks.
I fought for my country, for the real America, not this cultish bullshit. I'd be fighting them if I could. I'm just too damned old.
We have to be careful. The Peggies have got themselves some heavy machine guns.
During my time in the military, I went on a lot of nighttime raids.
This is when the real predators come out to feed.
The wolves were just making a comeback. Now I don't know if they'll ever come back.
Everyone with a working brain should always carry at least 2 ways to make fire on their person at all times.
If you're gonna be a prepper, you gotta know how to fish. Great source of protein.
Preppers are solid folk, but they weren't ready for this.
You spend the night outside in Hope County? You better know how to take care of yourself.
The only thing these people are going to understand is firepower.
I can't wait to get off this planet. Every living thing I see is literally farting all the time.
I've been expecting the worst since I was a youngin'. That's why this shit don't faze me.
The man who walked away from Eden's Gate has a long journey in front of him. The words of Eden's Gate have poisoned him. This crisis has taken lives, destroyed families, and shattered our community. I've forgiven him for what he's done. He deserves a second chance. He's the first person who has asked to be forgiven for following Joseph's seed. He won't be the last.
Oh, goddamn lunatics waltzed in here and we let them.
Have you gone fly fishing yet? Ooh, you can't do that in Karat.
If we don't get some help from the outside, we're gonna have to hang in there against some pretty heavy weapons.
Dirt in everything out here. It's getting in the fucking equipment.
Instead of worrying about Canada, the true threat to this country, everyone is worried about that little Asian fella with the nukes. That's horseshit. Asians love those fighting robot movies too much. No way are they gonna bomb this country and cut off their supply of Pacific Rims, trans robots, or whatever they're called. I don't watch them. No American does.
I don't know what's gotten into Addie, but ever since we foiled those Bliss shipments, she's been real aggressive when it comes to, you know, it's like she can't get enough. I mean, I guess it's good, right? I'm starting to think she really loves me. Just the other day, she said she'd be giving me some dookie love. Don't know what that is, but she told me not to worry, that she'd take care of me throughout the whole thing. Man, I'm stoked.
Oh, I was working on some personal science projects when this all dropped, you know. Only noticed that something was up when other people started reacting to their waking dreams. And that they aren't prepared like we are. We could be partners, amigos, symbiotes, Deputy.
Deputy, they could be pumping gallons of Bliss into our water system as we speak. The water treatment plant really has got to go.
You know what the man said to me during our first face-to-face? Here and abroad, people look at Americans and see us being weak. We need to crap bullets on anyone that disrespects us, pardon his French. He's right. Ask King George III, Saddam, or Osama about what happens when you don't respect Americans. Oh, that's right. You can't.
No need to prep. Locked in your DNA is courage our ancestors used to survive a primal world.
Someone could write a book on prepper one-upmanship.
You don't need to be anybody special to fish. Just a lot of practice and hard work.
The people of Hope County have always been the thorn in the government's side. So what do? Send in their top officials spewing mumbo-jumbo about the end of days, using our faith to divide us. Hell, I'm sad to see it's working. Thought we'd be more awake than that. That's the term kids are using these days, isn't it? Stay woke. I like it.
Your rusty trusty should be razor sharp.
I'm starting to think my parents were right. I should have been an accountant.
Well, I heard you saved Merle's bacon. He's a bit intense with the whole thinking ahead prepper shit. I made the mistake of flirting with him once, and he got obsessed with me. Started talking marriage, kids, grandkids. I was like, hold your horses. He's so focused on what's happening 20 steps from now, he couldn't recognize that I really was not interested in him.
We're a family in here. May not look like it, but that's what we are. You're doing okay, so maybe you will be a part of this. But it's gonna take some time.
Here's a pro tip for you, Deputy. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you need to use a patsy, find out what their father issue is before you get started. I found a guy in Karat, American on the inside and useful on the outside. Dangled some intel about his long-lost daddy, and he was only too eager to help out. Everyone wants closure. Here's the sad truth. Nobody ever really gets it.
I should have listened to Eli and run when we had the chance. Now I'm the only one left. My friends didn't deserve this. No one deserves this.
You ever want to land on Dutch's good side, just say 2 words. States' rights. They'll probably slap those words on his gravestone when the time comes.
I never asked to be a part of this mess, but I'll do what needs to be done.
I've been to Montana before, when I was a kid. My parents took me on a trip where we visited all 50 states. I did it again with the missus a couple of years ago, but this time I plotted it out so we'd visit the states in order of patriotism.
Stay sharp, the globalist elite are literal vampire goblins. They hunt at night.
Watch your back out there. Seriously. I know you can handle yourself, but we're losing so many whitetails right now, it's crazy. Tough sons of bitches, too. Highly skilled at combat.
The bliss will set you free. The bliss is gonna make you see.
It used to be really hard to get your anime fixed on, you know, people swapping shitty fan dub VHS tapes in weird-ass basements. Ugh. Rinky-dink little conventions in the ballroom of a Days Inn. At least that's what I've been told. I don't know. I grew up in the area of simulcast subs and on-demand streaming. Manga in big box bookstores. True signs of civilization. Your cult wants to take us back to the Dark Ages. Fuck!
This isn't the first time outsiders have come and killed all the game.
Days like today, you know why they call it God's country.
Every hunter needs a good hat and patience. Hat for the ticks, patience for the shot.
One day, I'm filming a meadowlark making a nest on the edge of town. And suddenly, pop, pop, I look up to where the gunshots are coming from. It's a church. So I grab the camera. This is my Coppola moment. A bloody gunfight right in the middle of town. And Eden's Gate people are taking control of the town. I capture all the violence, blood, heroism, and misery. Oh, it's beautiful. Jerked off to it like 3 times that day.
If you ain't thinking about life, I don't even know what to do with you.
The slothful man roasteth not that which he took in hunting, but the substance of a diligent man is precious. Proverbs 12:27.
Just keep your pecker hard and your powder dry, and this'll be over with in no time.
Kids, man. Kids will kill you. First thing they'll do is ruin your sleep for good. No matter how old they are, you'll never sleep well again. Next, you do your best to toughen them up for a cold, hard world. But then they're the ones that end up breaking your heart.
I will use my boomstick to deliver liberty to every one of these interdimensional demons.
Center yourself in this moment.
My granddad taught me to shoot when I was 6. Never thought I'd be aiming at another human being. What world are we in?
Some of the locals have been helping me out. I've been trading some ointments and antibiotics for food.
Learned how to drive when I was a kid. Rebuilt my first engine when I was 13.
We need to conserve our meds more. I told the sheriff. There's no telling how long this will take to resolve.
Don't think. It doesn't help.
Yeah, moving into the boonies made me rethink my precursor chemicals. It's all in the plants, man. Not the powders off the internet.
He shall flee from the iron weapon, and the bow of steel shall strike him through. Job 20:24.
It feels good to be out here in nature, away from all the tools that the globalists use to control us.
Unusually warm for this time of year.
I strip and clean my rifle every day, but only shower once a week. Go figure.
Nothing beats Montana skies. Even faith can't spoil that.
Most things that are broken can be fixed. People waste too much.
Nothing beats the great outdoors.
Embrace the energy of the animals. You were once them, and they were once you.
Little piece of advice. Thinking too much out here will get you killed quick. Don't think, just do.
You don't seem like the type to worry about this kind of stuff, but in case you do, I don't hate you for shooting these angels. Though, probably be better if you didn't have to. They remind me of folks who are comatose, only mobile. Every experiment I've done says their brains are fried, but I can't help but wonder. That's why I'm trying to offer you an alternative. I'm hoping that once the government gets word of all this,
we'll be able to do something for them.
I watched a kid's cartoon last weekend just to see how the government's psychological operation was going. It was full of submissive, cowardly characters with a police state type of mentality being the norm. No wonder all these yokels fell for an authoritative cult leader who has all the answers.
There's certainly more guns than people here. Is it 2 times as many? 4? 10? That's a question.
Older folk take all the fun out of fishing. Talk too much.
Have to keep an eye out for ambushes at night.
Saw an albino snow leopard in Karat once. Shot that magnificent bastard right in the face.
What's the point of nice days if stupid people are allowed to enjoy them as well?
I gotta laugh at people flushing money down the drain, buying fancy cleaners. You can get all your cleaning done with baking soda, salt, and vinegar.
I've been in my share of adventures, but that was like some big-budget Hollywood movie-type shit. Spills, chills, thrills!
I just hope we find Peaches before she eats one of these Peggies. All that processed food they eat is terrible for my baby's digestion.
Hot today. Wish I had a cold one right now.
I don't know how, but the Peggies got their hands on some serious military-grade weapons. I think they got us outgunned.
Prepping is like an insurance policy where you pay premiums to yourself.
Damn, it's colder than a witch's tit in winter.
A lot of bears around these parts. Wish I'd kept some of those Minkler for Mayor bear spray bottles. That was good campaign swag.
I prefer the nighttime. Less distractions.
Agency Ops 101. Always save the wet work for nightfall.
There's a reason the cult hasn't come for me. They know that I know how to use a gun.
One mistake at night and your world will become dark real fast.
Live free, die young.
I never really believed it before Jacob and the Peggies moved in up here, but there ain't no such thing as being overprepared.
Gal can never have too many guns.
God, I hope I make it through this in one piece.
Getting rid of that big dumb cat was the best decision I've ever made. She was too damn needy. Cats are supposed to be independent. If I wanted an attention-starved animal in my home, I would have had a baby.
Nah, Virgil. How could she do this?
If it weren't for me, the wolf's den wouldn't have lights, let alone running water.
I grew up eating food from a can. Brings me back to my childhood.
Gonna make those Peggies regret the day they decided to fuck with me.
You'd be amazed what a person will do to get out of a steel leg trap.
If you think you're ready, you're not. There's always something else you need.
The Peggies took that prepper survival thing to a whole new level. They're totally obsessed.
I'm told you destroyed a stockpile of that awful drug. Just goes to show you have your priorities right and a brain between your ears. You know, that's more than can be said of a lot of people. Not meaning anyone specific here, just... Oh, you understand. You're a real cougar.
Folks laugh about preppers, but I'll tell you, without them, our resistance would be SOL. Years of paranoia has made them ready for this shit.
Everybody's just disregarding the legal hunting laws now. Just goes to show civilization's a thin fucking coating over human nature.
They'll find us. They always find people. We gotta leave. Before they find us, before they punish us!
Spent my whole life trying to slow the steady extermination of these wolves at the hands of humans, but it's pointless. I can't win. Who the fuck are we as a species that we think we can just do what we want with no repercussions on our environment? The fucking hubris that requires. I'm telling you, the way the world is right now, the bill's coming due.
Our weapons won't help us with what's coming next.
They're gonna bite back. They always bite back. Eden's Gate's gonna do anything to get control of this place again. I was scared for a while, but now I'm not.
You ever catch yourself thinking about tomorrow, just stop. No point. Think about today and today only.
I had my place stocked with MREs. You know what those are? Meals ready to eat. Military issued. I haven't cared about the taste of food in years. Sometimes surviving is about adaptation. I can eat those things no problem, and what they provide far outweighs any concern I have for the taste. 10 whole years of shelf life and over 2,000 calories per package. One night, 5 houses get robbed. So I arrest all the crooks ever was convicted of burglary. Wouldn't you know it? That night, 6 houses get hit. Hope County's first crime wave. Ain't the Peggies, 'cause they're getting robbed too. So, I'm driving home after a night out and I see the perp walking around wearing all this jewelry. It's a turkey! I swear! A bird was stealing! So I follow said turkey to a hiding place underneath the train bridge northeast of here. It's impossible to get to. You'd need ropes to get in. So do I arrest the turkey? Or oh, shit. You're fading.
Listen, we all got our share of problems in here. We've all done shit, good and bad. And we've all lost people close to us. Too many, in fact. Point is, everyone comes to the den with baggage. But we look out for one another, no matter what. Guess it's kind of one big dysfunctional family.
You know, everybody shrugged when I talked about morale as a potential weakness. But you actually did something about it. For a moment, everyone forgot about the seeds. Our guests were as happy as I've ever seen them. I hope you stick around, Falls End, when this is all over. We'd sure like to have you here.
I should have figured out what was going on when my boy got distant. A public health crisis right under my very nose. It just looked like teenage angst.
All this preparing for a difficult time is good. We don't know how long this fight will be.
I hope you're not letting Peaches fill up on those cult imbeciles. They eat too much processed foods and it wreaks havoc on her stomach. Make sure she's getting enough elk in her diet and that she scratch her chin. She loves that. Not that I care about that little monster or anything.
You've probably seen even worse things than I have out here, huh? We heard about you at the jail. Broadcasts over the radio. If you need a refuge, it's the closest thing to it. I've been away too long, really. Tracy will be pissed if she has to sew up people by herself again.
I know you think I'm crazy. Most people do, but I'm not. I'm not one of these crazy conspiracy theory guys screaming about Bigfoots, flat Earth, and fake moon landings. I'm not some sad, lonely guy who lives such a boring life he needs to make up a fantastical reality. I don't deal in conspiracy theory. I deal in conspiracy fact. Everything I say is the God's to honest truth, with actual evidence to support it. Which is why when I say Eden's Gate is a plot of a globalist cabal of demonic interdimensional goblin vampires to erode the belief in Christianity and God to usher in the apocalypse, you know it's the truth.
I heard more than I cared to about the misery. I imagine it's going to be hard for you to find peace of mind after what you saw there. Watch you don't go looking for that peace in the wrong places. And thank you for wiping that abomination off the map.
That machine out in the backyard is 4 long years in the making, never again to be replicated. You may have seen all the papers strewn about in my lab, the writing on the chalkboard, posted schematics. It's all organized chaos on purpose. And even if someone were to put it all together, I've omitted key formulas and mathematical equations. No one will follow in my footsteps. There's just me, just like Anne wants.
The resistance against Eden's Gate is there and will only grow. These men and women remind us that heroes can come from everywhere. You don't need special training or physical strength. It's courage. Heroes are all around us. They are in the hearts of neighbors who care and will stand up to Joseph Seed and his brainwashed followers.
Remember, you can see the glint off a scope a mile away.
I got no sympathy for how it played out with Faith. I'm pretty sure that woman was a junkie before she came to Hope County. Drugs, and the people who use them, are like a nuclear bomb. The effect's immediate, and the fallout lasts forever.
Notice anything funny when you're out in the woods? No baby animals. The bliss has turned all animals homosexual. Dogs, cats, woodland creatures, and farm animals alike. Even the goddamn frogs. None of them are reproducing anymore, and it's having all kinds of side effects. Wolves are attacking humans, steers are becoming super aggro, and the frogs are having massive orgies. And before you get bent out of shape, I got no problem with homosexuals. My brother is a homo. Hey, he's a great man with a wonderful family. There is nothing wrong with homosexuality, but there is something wrong with pumping chemicals into the air that turns all animals gay. It's unnatural. I can't go to the swimming hole anymore because it's a goddamn gay bathhouse for frogs. These Peggy demons must be stopped.
There's an allegory here about faith and violence. I'll piece it together eventually. Meanwhile, please, take care of yourself. You're under her white-hot gaze, Deputy.
I can tell you from my own personal experience, you saved those kidnapped victims and hostages from torture. John Seed is a cruel soul who can't be reasoned with. He enjoys making people suffer. Anyway, let's focus on what's going to happen next. His followers will retaliate, but God's on our side. Real God.
I use the dishes around my home to talk to Anne, and talk is not a figurative term. She's quite conversational.
Tooting my own horn here, but do you know how hard it is to make something that gets the reflexes up like that? Okay, it's not just caffeine or amphetamines. I went to college. Well, at least a couple of semesters. You're in good hands, man.
Stay frosty, Senior. Charlie can be anywhere.
Harder to hide with the sun on. That just adds to the challenge.
It breaks my heart to see Eden's Gate shitting all over this valley.
You won't find these night skies in any big city. Only in Hope County.
We should have shot the cult the day they outlawed hunting and alcohol.
Well, well. Heard you put the hurting on Joseph's statue. You humiliated him publicly. And if you ask me, there's no better way to get under Joseph's skin. Nice work, Rook.
If you're looking for a Bible quote for inspiration on how to deal with Eden's Gate, Ezekiel 9:10. So I will not look on them with pity or spare them, but I will bring down on their own heads what they have done.
I knew how badly Tracy wanted that statue gone, but I didn't think anybody would actually do it. You're something else, Deputy. I just hope it demoralizes Eden's Gate instead of making them feel more like righteous martyrs. You know how warped that kind of thinking can be.
I understand you've had to do some crazy things during this whole cult situation. Let me tell you, as long as you live through it, whatever you do will be justified in the name of the law.
Oh man, how the fuck did I get into this?
Time to get back in the game.
Never got this hot in Portland.
I can't keep up with every new Armageddon coming down on us. I'm still trying to wrap my head around what the hole in the ozone layer was all about.
I've had to improvise most of my lab supplies. I put my shoe liners to good use.
Those angels. Everyone was somebody's kid, parent. This is a human rights violation on an incredible scale. I don't even have the words, Deputy.
Game is getting scarce, and we're running low on food. Peggy stole everything.
They're gonna pay.
On top of being majestic, this land is really important. Want to know why? A birdie told me that instead of a library, he's planning to build a country club. And Hope County is one of a handful of locations he's considering.
People are afraid of the night. They're afraid of what they can't see.
Supplies are running low. We gotta stock up while we can. Boy, I sure wish I'd grabbed them corn remover pads when I had the chance.
You're not just saving people, you're building them up. You've sparked a real resistance, like David when he took down Goliath. You're inspiring real courage. Real courage isn't something you can beg, borrow, buy, or reap. Real courage is a feeling. Just a feeling. It can fade.
I loaded that judge with enough fentanyl to down an elephant, but she still broke free. I'm still in disbelief.
When you consume a creature, its spirit lives on in you.
Gotta make sure you've got extra ammo on you, 'cause you never know.
The Peggies are like a terrible wildfire. Everything they touch dies.
I take pride in being able to provide for myself.
I'ma plant some mines in case them Peggies try and bring in a new batch of animals. Won't know what hit 'em.
This is some land, huh?
I'm not a gun guy, but if I were, I'd roll with an AJM-9. If it's good enough for Rex Power Colt, it's good enough for me.
Darkness comes, and the Peggies really start moving in the shadow.
Day like this should be spent fishing and drinking.
Oh, have those stars always been there?
I don't care for beautiful days. It encourages too much small talk.
I'm sorry, you're basically on your own with Eden's Gate. I asked the big man if I could do more, but he wants me to take care of this thing in Cuba next. Don't quote me on it, but before you and I kick the bucket, that country's going to be a U.S. state.
You ever work with a visionary? Clearly you haven't, or you wouldn't be obstructing my vision all the fucking time! Relax, it's a joke. You're beautiful. But seriously, move!
I heard the phrase flying blind, but I never thought it was something you could actually do for fun. Sorry about the barf.
Some folks are afraid of the dark. Not me. I love it.
You may have noticed the abundant security I have here. Cameras pointed in all directions. While I generally tune out what's going on around me, I'm neither deaf nor blind. A certain John Seed makes for a rather unsavory fellow. But don't worry, I'll see him coming. He won't interfere with my work.
I don't eat any fish, even wild caught, until I've filtered it through a sieve. Gotta get those toxins out somehow.
This is what you've been waiting for. The war is here. The demon goblins are at your door.
They're out there. I know it.
Buying gear is easy. Learning how to use your ship properly is hard. We're all gonna die anyway, so I'd rather live free.
I didn't come here to, die.
Mars is emerging from an ice age. Not a lot of people know that. But why else do you think we suddenly have so much interest in it? Ooh, there's a lot to discover. An ice age is a natural cycle that takes thousands of years to begin. When the ice melts, who knows what's underneath it?
If you want the veggies you eat to stay fresh in your gut, you gotta soak up that sun.
I love seeing Montana's nightlife.
Did you know that when Tesla died, the government entered his hotel room and removed everything? A brilliant man's research just went dark. The truth is, they have been unveiling what he knew, slowly, over generations. Incremental disclosure, a dripping leak of knowledge, because some of what he knew can't be revealed all at once. The mind couldn't handle it.
Life in Hope County has taught me a lot. I mean, there's a lot more uses for rope and tape than you'd think.
I'm trying to conserve my ammo. It's just so tough to come by.
Never worry too deeply about breaking a line or the fish that got away. You know, the multiverse theory hypothesizes that there are an infinite amount of Earths, representing an infinite amount of variations on timing, decisions, and outcomes. So I figure that there's at least a dozen other versions of our world where you caught that fish after all. But I guess that would also mean that on those other Earths, you lost all the fish you caught on this Earth. Best not to think about it too much.
Getting info from folks ain't that hard once you know the ins and outs. Everyone has a limit to how much pain they can tolerate. Some can handle more, some less. The trick is not killing them before you get what you need.
Let me tell you about Anne. She's not exactly real, as you would see it. She's an AI I intercepted years ago while I was still in school. Noise pollution being what it is, I moved out to Holland Valley in a bid to reestablish contact, and it worked.
Since WW2, you know how many times the Earth has been on the verge of Armageddon? Thousands. I'm guessing this is your first. You'll get used to it. By the third one, you'll see. It's a manipulation tactic co-created by the Russians and the U.S. to be used on the masses as a distraction.
I've been preaching gospel here for near 15 years now. I know the people of this valley. They're good, hard-working people. But in bad times, people get scared, start looking for someone to blame. Joseph Seed fed on that fear. Told folk the end of the world was coming. A lot of them believed him. Truth be told, way things are right now, I sometimes wonder if he's right.
Look, just 'cause Eli said you're all right doesn't mean everything's hunky-dory with me. Far as I'm concerned, you're still a stranger here. Nothing personal, just the way it is.
I do not constrain myself with human limitations, but even I can't mix my magic without the right ingredients. You gotta pay to play. You know what I'm saying?
Sometimes I wonder if the government's too busy pulling fast ones that they forget about what's going on in outer space. Glad we know one guy who's keeping an eye on that. Larry Parker. If you ain't met him yet, you'll want to. The things he's told me, it'll keep you up at night.
You got this, Hudson.
Fingers, eyes, testicles, supplies. I'm good to go.
I have my own doomsday bunker. The address is 123 Main Street, Anytown, USA.
Predator, prey. We're all connected to a primal world.
I grew up fishing these waters. They're like an old friend to me.
This is what Montana should look like every day.
Guns are just the evolution of fire, sticks, and rocks. The warrior is the same weapon.
I've seen Peggy's fishing with hand grenades. It's crazy.
A lot of clients out here are preppers, and they want special stuff. Long shelf life for their bunkers. Willing to pay, too.
The resistance needs to be like an onion. Onions have many layers. Onions don't give up. And when you cut them, they make you cry. Thousands of years of animals trying to eat it raw, and the onions still fight. They still challenge the eater. I've lived on a raw onion diet for a month. It turns you into a carpet bomb of irritability. Gave me so much resiliency, I ran a marathon without training. True story.
We've become like children, afraid of the dark. And now the monsters are real.
God, it's a beautiful country out here. Too bad the nut jobs are ruining it.
There's still a few big cats out there in the woods. None of them are as smart as my peaches.
People used to joke about corporations projecting advertisements onto the moon. Like you'd look up and it'd be a big Tana Cola logo. I still think it'll happen. Humans are always tripping over nature to sell things.
Even the cult can't ruin a day like today. Oh, that's not true, but it's a nice thought.
Always best to hunt at night.
Unless you're after the most dangerous game, hunting is like kissing your sister.
Treat your equipment right, and it'll be there when you need it.
All these years drinking whiskey and the first sip never goes down smooth. Okay, so... there was this family. The Wellingtons. Poor as piss-covered garbage. But they got this house near the gold mine to the southeast. For generations, these amateurs dig underneath, using dynamite, blowing themselves up, collapsing tunnels. Dumb as inbred rocks. All that digging and no gold. But when Eden's Gate shows up and asks for donations, these fucktards give the father nuggets of gold the size of... Uh-oh. We got a lightweight.
You'd be surprised how many trophy hunters came to me looking for tranks to steady their aim.
About the only thing I'm good for these days is being right about things.
Doesn't take much to get the preppers wound up. Those fools spend their days praying for disaster.
It kind of pisses me off when people say I'm a hipster for liking vinyl. It's like you can't like anything cool anymore without being labeled.
There's plenty of conspiracies going around these days. How's this one for you? The big man's current wife is an operative who has been honeypotting him for a long-game tactic on behalf of another country. And what if he's actually a CIA operative who's been doing everything to make the other country believe he's in their pocket when he's actually playing them? The man's no idiot. He builds skyscrapers.
I admire what the resistance has been doing. It's such a change from before you came to the valley. Our success here is a result of you and countless ordinary men and women whose names will never be written into the history books or chiseled on monuments.
Here's a Marvel maxim for you. When the producer says no, fire him. When the new producer says no, fire her too. When they promote you to producer because everyone fears you and won't take the job, say no to the first person with a question. Any question. Then whip it out on the table and don't put it away until someone looks at it. That's true power.
Nancy's my truck, and she's a real good girl. Steady, reliable, never lets me down, unlike my ex-wife.
I could spend all day here, not get a single bite, and I'd still have a smile on my face.
Let me ask you something. You see any kids around here? Don't you think that's strange? I've been talking about it for years, but nobody listens. You know why that is? Baby farms. Oh, it's all the rage in Silicon Valley. They're growing babies just to harvest them for body parts. I seen it with my own eyes. Elon Musk has his personal farm half-hour north of here. Terrifying stuff. Even worse is what they do with the unhealthy babies. The unhealthy ones are sent to the pits. The ultra-elite love to gamble on baby pit fights. They attach little scalpels to their tiny hands, and the babies have a battle royale until only one stands. I wouldn't have believed it myself if I didn't discover the box scores coded in Oprah's book club. Those poor, poor babies.
I don't know why Casey's obsessed with a testicle festival. I'd rather get this shit with the Seed family settled, have a large memorial service for all the people who lost their lives, and then start with the carnivals.
I get no sleep anymore. Pissing all hours of the night, but only a dribble each time. Saw the doc once, but he tried to stick his digits up my bunghole. Never again.
Been around death before. It don't faze me. I worked in a funeral home in high school. Was going to be a director, but then I saw a devil. The company taught funeral directors how to take advantage of people in mourning. Manipulate them when they're weak. Sympathy and money just don't belong together. Like John Seed, they were con men.
Nighttime is the best time to scavenge and maneuver.
I don't want to seem too hopeful, but I feel like we're maybe gonna turn shit around.
You wrap up this conflict and you're gonna make the man in charge a very, very, very happy man. Who knows? You might even get an invite to play golf with him. I've done it twice. It's got the best 18 holes in Florida.
Preppers can fix anything, except for their terrible personalities.
So many deer these days. Guess they're crazy horny. I get it.
When the world is torn by war, when the rain of bullets pour, when bombs fall like autumn leaves.
I should have bugged out instead of bugging in. Could have avoided all this mess.
I hope you're able to rescue more of our whitetails. Not just because we gotta win this. Some of them are my friends.
Hunters have nothing on what Guy Marvel shoots. Gorgeous models, action heroes. Deer?
What you've been doing to Eden's Gate is not making them happy. Shit rolls downhill to John Seed's followers, so I'm sure you're being cautious and all, but they're gonna be after you.
When it comes to the cult, go big or go home. Government puppets trying to destroy our faith in the Lord.
If I could spend the rest of my days fishing, I'd be a happy man.
I'm not gonna bake you a cake or anything, but I'll say this. You helped turn that fight at the gate. We'd have more graves than gurneys if you hadn't shown up.
Peggies can't catch me at night. They won't even know I'm there.
Do you realize that with the current technology, the elite can size up any person and customize their brainwashing? Anybody connected to a mobile device has an electronic profile somewhere. Corporations are fighting to be the ones who subtly nudge you to buy shit you don't need and get into debt that takes generations to pay off. Joseph Seed uses the same kind of mind control.
It's really cool how the chunk of sky above Hope County has more stars in it than the piece above LA. Makes it really pretty out here.
How come nobody sees Bigfoot anymore? Do you think he's afraid of camera phones?
It's hot, but don't go claiming global warming. That's a ruse created by China to torpedo U.S. manufacturing.
Hey, good job hitting that water treatment. Pumping bliss in the water? These fucking psychos would drug baby formula if they had the chance.
We sure got a good leader in Tracy. The others look up to her. But gosh, darn it, she's got some foul language. Makes our cougars cuss like sailors. And that's opening the door to other laxities. Laxatives? No. Yes, laxities. We can't get cocky. We're turning into some two-bit militia. We're freedom fighters. We're the resistance. Appearances matter. I'm working on Tracy. Oh, she's a good kid.
We're sitting ducks at night.
Look at this land. The mountains, the rivers. The Peggies are insects. Here today, dead tomorrow.
This is the real story. It's the facade and the underbelly of the American dream exposed at the same time. I've already made a rough cut of all of the Eden's Gate footage, and the problem is it's too heavy on the drama. This isn't some art house movie for film snobs. I need something bigger and more mainstream. Blood Dragon 3 is real life.
Be mindful of night predators.
When the night comes in, your enemies can be all around.
Never get tired of looking at that sky.
The Peggies don't give a shit about conservation. They'll shoot anything with a heartbeat. I don't know if we can come back from this.
Evening energy recedes. Avoid the keen and strike the slumping. That's either a George Washington or a Sun Tzu quote.
Great. Tablet battery's nearly dead.
Only thing I ever graduated from was firecrackers.
Goddamn supplies are running low. I got no patience when I don't have my coffee. And in my line of work, that ain't good.
Weather feels different lately.
Used to be only a grizzly would steal your catch. Now it's the Peggies, too.
Outhouses, bunkers, and auto repair. Preppers lack vision. With the same scraps, I'm building the future.
When you live far from the big city, you learn to get clever with supplies. These Peggy bozos don't know who they're dealing with.
There's nothing you can't prepare for, and there is no end to the varieties of beef jerky.
Heard the pipes of the prison acting up. Been a while since they made any noise at all, so I checked it out. Turned on the water in the showers, and wouldn't you know it, within seconds it was running clear and no funky smell. That was you, huh? You hit the water treatment facility. Good thinking, Rook.
Want to hear the Cougars cheer? Too late. Look out on the field, there's praying cats, you better yield. You hang around, they'll make you pay. Now that you're warned, there's only one thing to say. Rah, 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 go Cougars, go! Rah, 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 go Cougars! Don't it give you chills?
When this Peggy nonsense is all over, the river will still be here, waiting.
Hope County's good for 3 things: hunting, fishing, and resource extraction.
Summers are getting hotter. There's no denying that.
I can't believe how much stuff about fixing things I've had to learn out here. Even if I had money, you can't just buy shit in the boonies, right?
It's not safe at night anymore. When the sun goes down, people go missing.
Endangered this, threatened that. State meddles too much in nature's business. She'll sort out that shit herself.
We got another cougar. And this one a federal marshal, too. Snatched back from that damn bliss fog. This gives me hope, Deputy. It really does. Maybe things will turn around now.
An AR-15 will clear a room quicker than a hippie who hasn't showered in a year.
These Peggies ain't ready for Mother Green's killing machine.
The number one question I get whenever I work with local law enforcement is, how did you get into the CIA? The answer's simple. It's in my blood. I'm a descendant of Abraham Woodhull, a.k.a. Samuel Culper. Don't know who that is? Of course you don't. American history textbooks are made in Texas, so they love omitting heroes from Long Island. My relative was George Washington's best spy and helped him win the War of Independence.
Your shoulders feel lighter or what? I know mine do now that John Seed's dead and all those people are free. I know you've been hearing a lot of thank yous already, but this one's from me. Thank you.
Look at us. Holed up in a prison. Our last fucking stand. How's that for irony? We retreat to the one place where those Peggy assholes should be rotting away. I'll tell you what, I ain't gonna die in this shitbox. I want to live long enough to know that Faith gets what's coming to her.
Oh, you're a good guinea pig, Deputy. You kind of make me miss my old pet, Hamlet. But we need to get on digital modeling for clinical trials, Not be monsters still jabbing bunnies and kids' pets with needles and calling it science. Blows my mind. Whew. I'll go right to the designated biological system anytime.
It'd be a fine day if it weren't for the cult infestation.
I remember the days we'd go hunting with Eli. That was before... Feels so long ago.
Being a prepper isn't a cakewalk. You need time, patience, and you gotta look at the long run. Organization is key. Tracking, auditing, knowing your surroundings. What's at your disposal, how to ration it. That's what it takes to be a real survivalist. It's a skill that takes years to perfect through trial and error.
Imagine what happened if only the cult had firearms.
How could anyone come to this beautiful place and hide underground like squirrels? At night I come and go as I please. Peggies don't bother me.
You are gritty. You are a warrior. You will not piss yourself again.
The back country has its own rhythm to it. Like music you can only hear if you're alone in it.
Better close my eyes so I can hear the enemy better.
Why would anyone want all this canned shit where there is ribeye?
My whole family tree shot guns. Nobody ever had an accident.
I wanted to test my machine on an animal, but none of these farmers would sell me any. They enslave animals to turn them into value meal cheeseburgers. And they want to take the moral high ground with me.
Your gun's your best friend. Gotta look after her.
You and me? From here on out, we're adventure friends. We're gonna drink our way to the end of the world.
There's nothing in this world I'd rather be doing than fishing.
Catering is impossible out here. Everything's shut down. What gives?
My wife, God rest her soul, taught me to darn socks. There's a skill I've been using a lot lately.
Look, Eli trusts you, so I guess I do too. But you're gonna have to earn Tammy's. She doesn't trust anybody, and I mean anybody. Maybe not even me. I don't know.
Ma taught me how to hunt when I was 9.
In this kind of weather, I like to treat myself to an ice-cold Arnold Palmer.
Peggies are stripping the rivers clean of all the fish. They just don't care.
Everybody's got a hidey hole stuffed with cornflakes. It's more squirrel than human.
It's open season on whatever the fuck I want now.
Oh, I love fishing on days like today.
My Peaches loves to hunt at night.
When I'm finished what I'm building, people are gonna see an impossible miracle.
I hear horrible screaming every night now. Fear is all these Peggies know how to make.
I've never seen so much wildlife where I grew up. This is a hunter's paradise.
After the war, I had no interest in picking a weapon or hunting animals.
I love this part of our land. The best chefs in the country are right here. They know how to cook everything with a pulse and know how to make it tasty. I ate a deep-fried bald eagle once. It was the most amazing meal of my life. It tasted like freedom.
Them Peggies used to run target practice using human-shaped targets. Said they were out of animal targets. I should have known better.
There's something you need to understand about the bull. He has a fiery disposition, an incredible work ethic. He won't stop until the job's complete. Something to keep in mind if one of them's trying to kill you.
If I were 10 years younger, I'd be giving those Peggies hell. We need young ones like you to do it instead. I feel so goddamn useless.
One time when I was a kid, I found a baby rabbit in the woods. I brought it home, but then my dog bit its head off.
I'm prolific, okay? Done everything under the sun, and behind the sun, shit, I've even done the sun! You think an American war zone is gonna scare me? Oh, wait a minute, I need my publicists. American war zone! It's the next blockbuster after Blood Dragon 3!
Only problem with this prison, makes it hard to get supplies in. We gotta keep ourselves stocked.
There's no limit to how many ways people can be separated and called different. Skin tone, beliefs, education, shape, orientation, status. There's no limit. But look at the resistance. When we cry, our tears are the same. When we laugh, it sounds the same. Our hearts are constructed the same. The followers of Eden's Gate have forgotten that.
There's an individual in this area I need to warn you about. Zip Kupka. He's one of those conspiracy theorists, but the guy's actually right about a lot of things. The government has a tracking software that identifies people who believe in conspiracy theories and gives a number rating on how much these people get correct. Old Zip's sitting at a 4.3.
Well, I should thank Eden's Gate for my gun skills. Fuckers taught me to clean, load, and fire 'em.
Oters get shit done, okay? Anyone calls me a prima donna again gets shipped out to a Midwest local news station so fast it'll make their fucking head spin.
We have obligations to our neighbors to be resolute against Eden's Gate. What unites us as good folk is far stronger than the hate and the terror of Joseph's seed. Our hope for a peaceful future can erase his visions of a doomed one.
Oh man, I'm in love with the little local resistance here. They all have a hoarding, fetishistic relationship with firearms. They love their country but are suspicious of its government. They think for themselves and question authority. And deep down, they love their freedom. They might be the perfect Americans.
Want to know why I like being indoors? Simple. I still see that enemy sniper off in the distance. I know he's not really there. I put a blade into each and every one of his organs. The man's dead. But every so often, he appears. When you take the life of every member of the Seed family, don't be surprised to see them again.
The boonies are like a zoo. I hate it. Hunters ought to work harder.
Nobody's path is a straight line. We all stumble. If things go wrong, it's just life's way of saying that the time is now to change course. Ask yourself, what can this moment teach me? If I really learn from it, I don't stumble the same way again.
It's time to put on your big boy pants.
Yeah, tubes, glass, yeah. It's books you really need. Uncle Fester taught me how to isolate lysergic acid from morning glory seeds and a hell of a lot more.
The Peggies are dumping something in the water. It's killing the fish.
I love to be out at night, but it's way dangerous these days.
I'll feel better when I see Old Glory waving over this valley again instead of those cult banners.
Of course they had a fucking torture chamber. Nothing I learn about these fucks surprises me anymore. How do they sleep at night? Fuck. Anyway, I'm glad you finished it. Should have never existed in the first place.
Being prepared never hurt anyone. It's the overdoing of it that can lead people down a troublesome path.
Oh, just great. The simulation has created another beautiful day for us.
I won't stand and watch while the cult butchers helpless creatures. It's immoral.
You got a fire inside you, kid. You're gifted. Without you, I don't know if I'd ever feel as vindicated as I do now. You're in my good book forever. See you at the finish line.
I feel bad for those wolves. Jacob really fucked them over. What kind of monster pulls shit like that on animals? People I can understand, 'cause they make their own choices and do evil things all the time. Animals, though, they're innocent through and through.
Hey, you been up north, up to Canada? Yeah, the recreational scene is totally different up there. You're more relaxed, socialized. I went once, a couple years back, with my dad, and before he found goddamn God. Oh, very pretty. Canada, not God. I mean, heard my new favorite band, Better Living Through Chemistry. If that isn't my personal familiar, I do not know what is, you know?
Starting to smell a little bit like freedom around here.
Let the world sleep. You and I are not bound by dogma and circadian cycles.
Are you familiar with Cerberus, the Greek mythical hound from hell? Those wolves are like that, only much, much worse.
Nice job saving the Woodsons. They're a hard-headed family. I hope the fact that you had to go save their asses made them wake up to the fact that we're all in this together.
If these liberals had their way, we'd have been totally defenseless against these Peggies.
The bliss has turned most animals in Hope County into homosexuals now. Not judging, just stating facts.
Heard Kim had you doing a bit of crazy flying. It's a good thing you did it, 'cause we all knew they were planning for a big showdown with the law. But shit, we had no idea just how big of an operation they had. Like that army they got in the north. We didn't really know about it. We didn't know how much prepping they were really doing. So I'm happy you hit their explosive operation. Don't mean they aren't going to try to bomb us, but at least they aren't going to have as many.
After seeing I was right about the cult all along, the people at this trailer park really warmed up to me. Hell, I'm like their unofficial sheriff. Peggies are getting smart. They ambushed us. Prepper like me, you normally never get the drop on. Sometimes in order to survive, you gotta take a little risk. That's what the death wish is all about.
Dylan thinks we won't get a mile from home before one of them fucking Peggy roadblocks cuts us down. Well, maybe he's right, but I'd rather die on my feet than on my knees, just like my brother.
Lock me up, sure, go ahead! But if you hurt one hair on my beautiful trophy boy's head, I'm gonna put my foot so far up your churchy ass, instead of amen, you'll be saying Adidas!
The bliss. It makes you forget. Makes you feel free. You just want to stay there forever. But it isn't real. None of it.
You have a good dad? I didn't. Help the Peggies cook their special sauce. Use my guinea pig as an actual guinea pig. Poor Hamlet.
I was worried whether or not you'd do the field test. I know how busy you are. And then I'm the one who almost fucks everything up. Isn't that just the way it goes? I'm really sorry about that.
Do what I told you, and I promise the big man's gonna give Montana everything it'll need to recover from this. I'm talking military-grade weaponry for the local police, lower taxes, and more jobs.
If I was Kim, I'd be out of here by now. To me, this place is too dangerous to have a baby. That's just my own opinion. And I got no business forcing my opinion on her life. I have no right to tell a woman what to do with her body or her baby. I'll leave that one to the politicians.
When I'm in office, I'll make it the law for everyone in Montana to own a gun, so this never happens again.
I've been saying it for years. Eden's Gate and their drugs are a poison to this town. A nuclear bomb. The effect they've had on our land and people has been toxic. Just look around. Was I wrong?
One of my favorite types of fish to catch is smallmouth bass. They're all fight and tons of fun to reel in.
Jacob's mind control could really mess you up. Glad we got you out when we did.
That cult's buying up all the double-odd buck. Hunting deer's getting expensive.
I've seen some shit, Hero. Thought I'd left that mess behind. So it really gets my panties in a twist to see a dictator in my own backyard. I've been to third world countries and seen real shit. Nothing compares to what this cult's doing. Pure evil.
When we were kids, Wade found a baby cougar in the woods. Well, he brought that little cat home and secretly kept it in the basement. But it got loose and attacked my folks while they were sleeping. Pa, well, he put a bullet in its head, and it goes without saying they had to get a whole new bed cover. Anyhow, Wade was never quite the same after that.
I'd just like to point out how smart my steal their gas plan is. You hit Eden's Gate supply line, their trucks will be dead on the road. See, Deputy? You can stop a vehicle without blowing it up or putting a bullet in the driver.
Keep one eye open and one eye closed.
When the world seems bleak and cold. When your bones feel tired and old. When wind is howling through the trees.
You're gonna face tests, Hero. What's worth the price of freedom? Will you disobey orders? You know what the law is, but those rules are from the civilized world, and that's not where we are now. The only rules here are Eden's Gates. They see anyone who opposes the project as expendable. Will you just shrug when you're given the choice? Time will tell.
I don't pose much of a threat to John Seed and his people. The minute I bring up interplanetary travel, alternate dimensions, other life forms, they just leave me alone. It's as if their tiny brains can't handle it.
Since most of us ain't drink your own piss to survive types, it's gonna be interesting to see how people get on. John Seed did a number on everyone here. I think we'll pull through, but the cult ain't gonna go down without a fight. And we better be ready for him.
I've got my 9mm. I can look after myself.
The Cougars are really pulling together. Now that they got a name, an identity, I know some of them call my pin silly, but it's important. Group cohesion, belonging. Everybody wants to belong to something. So, I'm giving them something. Plus, what else am I going to do with all those surplus pins? I'd die before seeing the Peggies using them.
Thing about hunting is, if you got something every time you went out, it'd be called grocery shopping.
Field strip your soul, and you will be truly prepared.
People who can live off the land don't need to dig holes in the ground to survive.
Nothing beats Montana stargazing.
I don't believe all that spiritual mumbo-jumbo Casey goes on about. He says he don't actually make any choices in life. He says the spirits guide his path. The spirits apparently told him to leave his trailer and take over my kitchen. It was just a couple days after my ma passed. Now that I think of it, it was a bit of a coincidence. I was struggling to run this place all by myself. Just one of those things, I guess.
Repeat after me. Military-grade optical sight. Takes the guesswork out of the equation.
You don't feel cold if you're wearing the right clothes for it.
You can do this. Come on.
I guess in a pinch I could stretch out the food I have here to wait the called out, but what's the point, though?
Guy Marvel feels animals watching him from the fucking shadows.
Never know what you'll run into when it gets dark out here.
Man, I'm glad I quit smoking because I'd be going above ground every half hour for a butt. For sure I would have gotten my head blown off by now.
Sure gets chilly when the sun goes down.
You survived because you bleed red, white, and blue.
We've been forced to make do with whatever we can scrounge from the cult's leftovers.
Those fucking stars. Reminds me of all that space. That cold vacuum surrounding us. Earth is just a stupid dust speck.
Even if I could leave, I wouldn't. This valley is where I was born, lived, and will die.
You can do this. Just point and gently squeeze the trigger.
Guy Marvel came for the vistas, stayed for the cave.
I've stuffed and mounted just about every species of animal in this region.
Oh, there's nothing like being stoned to the gills in Mother Nature.
I don't know how to thank you for all you've done, Deputy. I mean, you're one of the few people to ever give me a hard listen. Sometimes I feel like people think I'm dumb. You know? Like a mimbo. That's the male version of a bimbo. But not you, right? You and I are like two pods and a pea. Am I right?
Jacob's seed's so bitter and just so damn mean. The only people following him are the submissive types. All them mountain people up north might think they're tough, but they ain't shit. They just like the choices to be made for them.
Once I'm senator, I'm gonna take this marijuana movement behind the barn and shoot it. Goddamn hippies. We snuffed them out in the 60s, and we'll do it again.
Should be kicking back, playing some tunes.
The cult's been stockpiling firepower for years. Don't know if the resistance can match 'em.
Lexington, Concord, Bunker Hill, Trenton, Saratoga, America.
Being a part of this with y'all helps me pick myself back up when I get down. I don't know if I'll ever get over what happened to my boy, but there's no way I'm kicking the bucket with all my regrets weighing down on me. I used to be soft. I let the cult walk all over me. But I'm through with that. I'll show the cult just what kind of mean son of a gun I can be.
I heard you found the motherfucker responsible for making the bliss so strong. No one's gonna cry over his body.
Only reason cows get so buff is because they have extra stomachs to turn leaves into protein. So we gotta eat the buff cows to build muscle. Obviously.
For so many people, my church was a safe haven. A place to come together. A place to rejoice. A place to learn about God. That sanctuary was violated in the worst imaginable way by Eden's Gate. The twisted beliefs of the charismatic cult have led good people to take a path of violence and terror.
Fun fact, many animals use the sun for navigation.
They mostly come at night, mostly.
Not safe to hunt with Jacob's boys running around.
Can't believe I'm the last one from my squad left breathing. How the fuck did that happen? There was guys who was younger than me, better health, better lives. All gone now. Thanks to that fucking cult.
These people in Eden's Gate have been led astray. Joseph Seed claims he loves everyone, wants them to know the truth. The truth is, he preaches vengeance and sows lies. But the words of an evil man ring louder in the minds of the weak.
Deputy, I used to say there's only two kinds of patriots, but over time, I've seen that there's three. The people who hold their hand on their heart at a ball game, those who fight for their country, and those who scroll through life instead of living it.
I hope you're doing this because you also want to try to minimize killing those angels. I know they can't be saved, but at the end of the day, they're still people. Sorry. I have to think I'm doing something more than just bailing out a sinking ship, you know?
A lot of people only buy guns made here. I don't give a shit where they're made, as long as they work.
Wish we could enjoy the weather without this shit weighing on our backs.
I'm more than a fisherman. And you're more than a deputy. We're more than our labor. Somewhere along the way, how many fish I caught started to matter more than who I spent my time with, or the deeds I did for my community. I became the scales per pound, the dollars for fish flesh. You gotta ask yourself what the real cost of living your life is, and who you're paying that cost to. For me, bait's about $8.50 a bucket.
I thought I'd seen animal abuse before, but Eden's Gate cruelty is just reprehensible.
I don't use my gun as much now that I have peaches.
God's glory can be seen in the resistance. It's that unity, strength, and love across all races and all faiths that shows us that evil can be overcome if we work together. Eden's Gate wants to separate us. See how they kidnap people? It's because there are more of us than there are of them.
Despite never serving in the military nor holding an elected office, the boss knows the power of disruption. We're a country that has disruption in our DNA. The Boston Tea Party, civil rights marches, Silicon Valley, and your bending of police protocol here. Things only change if people like you embody the change they dream of.
Joseph Seed and his whole family are like the politicians who ran this country into the ground. They sell you hope and change, and all these people buy into it thinking it's going to be different this time. It ain't. You might as well be buying magic beans.
You know, following a crazy person isn't going to end well. That science fella is the kind of crazy you should keep your distance from. I heard rumors that he convinced you to climb up the tower to get rid of some busted satellite dishes on it. I don't think you should be wasting your time with all that. Crazy can be an infectious disease.
Eden's Gate has taken everything and left us with scraps. Well then, we fight with scraps.
Every win against the Peggies counts, no matter how small. We keep chipping away at them. Eventually they crumble. Mark my words.
Personally, I think preppers are crazy, but to each his own.
I sent my truck over to a fellow I knew at U.S. Auto. Maybe didn't agree with it, but he knew my thought process. I gave him all the specs. Everything I wanted to turn my truck into a damn war machine. He did just that. He calls me up and says, "Merle, you ever put this thing to use, your enemies will be begging for a swift end." So I called it the Death Wish.
Swiping the Widowmaker's definitely a big W in the win column for us. We line up a couple more of those, and that cult's gonna be gone in no time. I'm happy the Resistance came to help you out. Some of them know how to hold a gun. Some of them.
I know this cult business is really bad, but on the list of top 10 problems in the world at this moment, it's number 17. Sweden, Des Moines, Cuba, Montreal, and get this, Mars. They're all in shambles.
It's good to keep perspective on stuff. But that doesn't mean keep your distance or stay detached. Cutting down the distance between you and the fish makes the difference between a full belly and a broken line. The Peggies have gone mad. They're killing all the game.
Pastor Jerome's our local man of God. Real God, if you know what I mean. He fought in Iraq 1 or 2, I don't remember which. I can't imagine what it would be like if we didn't have him here. Seeing him stand up to the seeds is so inspiring. He's our rock.
Can't imagine a sight prettier than this.
Unleash a warrior and restrain fear.
Beautiful day. My kiddo played his best games on days like these.
So much shit going on. I missed opening day this year.
Eyes wide, chin high.
Survival is timeless.
Guy Marvel is loving this ambiance.
Enter the wilderness naked, and we'll see who's prepared.
The Peggies don't understand that the earth lives and breathes just like them.
Joseph Seed thinks he's on top, but that won't last forever. Some new hotshot will come along, and all the whack jobs will start listening to them instead. That's what happens. Things change, whether you want them to or not.
I'm lucky. I don't need much to survive out there on my own.
Arise, walk through the land in the length of it and in the breadth of it, for I will give it unto thee. Genesis 13:17.
Gotta keep hydrated on days like these.
It's really hard to see when it's this dark and you got cataracts.
Not sure how much of the Grandview you remember, but it's a big old place. Best hotel around. At least it used to be.
Prettiest country I've ever seen. Definitely worth fighting for.
Tell you the truth, I was starting to lose hope. Not that I doubted your abilities, it's just, well, there's a dark cloud over this place. Got me real down. But I'm starting to feel like my old self again.
I knew I should have taken that job over in Boston.
I brought down a moose once. Still have some of the meat frozen years later.
Gotta make the best of what we've got. It's just what we do, and we're damn good at it.
Hard to fight someone who isn't afraid of dying.
I love how dark it gets at night.
Home is where your heart is. My heart's in Montana.
Real hunting is killing something with one shot. No fear, no suffering, just bam.
Glad I ordered a new rifle. It's really working out.
I got great night vision.
Colt took everything I ever cared about.
Peggies have been taking everything. Gas, parts, you name it. Makes resisting all the more difficult, but we won't be rattled.
Equipment, check. Attitude, check. I'm ready.
Smells like deer jerky and farts around here.
Well, the shit finally hit the fan, and turns out no one was ready.
This horny buck once got into my camper and kicked the place to shit.
My dad always kept guns in the house. I should have followed his example.
First thing you learn, which berries are safe to eat.
I heard something howl the other night, sent shivers up my spine.
Can't get used to the still of the night. Doesn't last.
Nothing like a day in the sun.
Feels like the only safe place to hide is out in the woods with the animals.
I've got to get my hands on a new generator.
It's steadier if you release your arrow between your heartbeats.
It's hard to see the beauty in this place with all the ugliness that's going on.
Out here, we take care of one another.
I'd be carrying right now, but I lost my gun locker key. I wish preppers tried to solve problems instead of hiding from them.
A clean gun is a happy gun.
I'm too afraid to pick up a gun. I'm such a coward.
Hard to enjoy the day when it might be the last one I'll ever see.
I'm only drinking bottled water from now on.
I never leave the house without a pocket full of shotgun shells.
Big sky sunsets sure are something else.
I wish I could go out hunting grouse every weekend. It's like a little piece of heaven.
If Moses did 40 years in the desert, I can surely do 40 here.
We got the best sunsets in the world. Just wait.
Dark nights like this are perfect for sneaking up on folks.
Those damn coyotes better stay out of my garbage if they know what's good for them.
I know dozens of hunters who say they've seen a Sasquatch. I got my old metal detector back up and running.
Y'all gotta keep an eye on them pumps. They can go at any time.
Put a rifle in my hands, and some cult bastard's gonna die.
Been years, but I still get squirrely when hunting.
If it comes to it, I'm pretty handy with a throwing knife.
We can hold on for a little while, but sooner or later we'll run out of supplies.
When you grow up in a place, that's all you know. It's real hard to leave, you know?
This will all belong to my boys, so long as the feds keep their hands off it.
NASA is hiding evidence of a 10th planet.
Drove past a big beautiful buck the other day. Sure as hell lots of folks will be gunning for him.
Being out at this hour ain't nothing but trouble.
You never know what kind of monster is gonna jump out of the shadows.
Sure gets cold after the sun goes down.
Surviving ain't so hard, as long as you know the basics. A lot of folks think the most important thing is fire. They're wrong. Knowing how to make a fire is important, but it's not number one. The most important thing is your attitude. If you're a negative type full of doom and gloom, you ain't gonna last long.
I like the cold. Keeps you alert.
Cult catches us out in the open like this, we're gonna have to fight.
On a day like this, you can see for miles.
Better not be any grizzlies around.
Always looking for things to fix. You never know what you'll need.
There's no shame in running over a cultist.
Glad I got up early today.
I belong to a prepper group. They're good people.
You can reach out and touch God in this place.
Best goddamn air in the country's right here.
Cities make people sick and crazy. That's no life for me.
Just smell that fresh country air.
It's chilly out here.
We're gonna get through this. We just gotta stay positive.
I used to love to hunt. Before the Peggies moved in.
Used to hunt for a taxidermist. Gave me a buck of squirrel.
True hunter thinks bigger.
If the ammo holds out, we're gonna win this.
Wish I could be a cloud, just float on by and not give a fuck.
When all this mess is over, I want to go to university, get my degree.
I'm glad Falls End is free, but we're gonna need supplies in order to rebuild.
Don't let the Peggies catch you hunting their livestock.
It's a beautiful country.
Have to expect to get a bit of dirt on you when you're fixing your rig.
Pretty face and a crack shot, it's all good.
I used to hunt buck up here.
Going after Eden's Gate isn't gonna be easy.
Stay sharp. Stay sharp.
I didn't choose to live in Montana. I think Montana chose me.
Peggy's got machine guns and rocket launchers, for fuck's sake. We need to match them.
I keep seeing these cult butchers killing animals in the dirt. That can't be hygienic.
It's not safe to be out at night, but it's not safe to stay home either.
At some point, the Peggies got tired of hunting animals. Now they're hunting us.
Maybe we brought this on ourselves.
Never seen darkness like this till I moved out to the country.
The cult has us outgunned, and they've been stockpiling ammunition.
Wonder if I should mount a 50 cal on my rig, just in case.
Hasn't been this hot in years.
Wish I brought my canteen.
Oh, shit. Should have worn my thermals.
Wonder if city folk even know what kind of stars they're missing.
The smell of pine trees always makes me think of Christmas. I know this area like the back of my hand.
I've been rolling on the same tires for years. Patching's an art.
Bet these gate idiots aren't even putting stabilizers in their long-term fuel supply.
Day like this helps you forget things for a little while.
Gotta watch out for wildcats on nights like this.
We're really taking a chance moving around like this.
Days are real long this time of year.
Everything I know about hunting, I know from my old man.
I fixed my smoker, so it's time to make more jerky.
Too many guns for my liking.
See, this is why we have the Second Amendment.
Can't leave the house without a gun now. It's that damn cult.
Hunting zone laws are designed to keep folks off Sasquatch grounds.
Wonder how long this conflict's gonna last.
They say I joke around to hide my insecurities. Joke's on them, 'cause it ain't working.
The cult's playing for keeps now.
I heard this batshit church began in Georgia. Figures.
Before the Peggies moved in, people just let you go about your business. I miss that.
Keep your eyes peeled for patrols.
People around here are raised to be resourceful.
Fresh mountain air and crazy people with guns. We got it all.
Can't wait until this mess is over.
Sad that cities don't get these stars.
All the animals are disappearing, except the vultures. We got plenty of them.
Toilet paper's kind of scratchy.
Hard to enjoy the nice weather.
When I get cold, I do a little dance to keep warm.
I wonder what's on the dark side of the moon.
Things aren't any calmer at night.
What kind of a world do we live in when people just take whatever they want?
I don't throw anything out. Never know when it'll come in handy.
You don't really appreciate freedom till you've seen what it's like to live without it.
Used to be so pretty around here at night. Now it's just scary.
God damn it, it's hot out.
Once you start digging bunkers, your worldview gets pretty fucked up.
If something breaks out here, you don't call a repairman. You fix it yourself.
We can't fight hate with hate. When they go low, we go high.
Another deer chewed out my power lines.
What a perfect day to be forced out of my home.
Great day to get out for a walk.
Always handle firearms like they're loaded. Hell, these days they ought to be.
Preppers are okay in my book. A little crazy, but generally they're nice folks.
Nice day. Let's hope it stays that way.
A girl's gotta want her beauty rest, but now ain't the time.
Nothing better than that fresh Montana air.
It's a bit nippy out.
Days like this make it worth living in Hope County.
Watch the bugs get bad now.
Ready for action.
Can't believe we're down to using motor oil instead of proper gun lube.
When I go, a lot of survival skills are going with me.
I used to feel blessed living out in the country, but now it seems like a curse.
Wish I could just enjoy the damn day.
Some folks build bunkers underground, but others can't even change their tires come winter.
Once in a while, I just stop and take in the view.
This is perfect hunting weather. I never thought I'd like being a prepper, but it kind of grows on you.
Before that cult took over, this was the kind of place where no one would bother you.
Ma's gonna kill me for being out so late.
Hunting's too dangerous now.
Automatic weapon's a great equalizer.
I need a new scope on my hunting rifle.
You see a car full of Peggies? Get ready for a fight.
Nice to take a little breather.
I really should call it a night. Been up since 6.
I've got nothing left to lose.
Used to be able to see a lot more stars.
At first, we thought the Peggies were harmless, just a bunch of crazy preppers.
The Peggies aren't preppers. They're a doomsday cult. That's a whole different level of crazy.
Give me one shot and I'll make it.
Shot my first 6-point buck this year. Beauty of a day, ain't it?
I was always skeptical of our gun control laws, but hell, we'd all be long gone if it weren't for our right to bear them.
Hope County, God's favorite little petri dish.
Bear's good eating, so long as it hasn't been eating meat itself.
Can't even count on your neighbors anymore.
Church is afraid to fight in the dark. I gotta fix that shelf in my basement. Fucking lima beans everywhere.
Gonna shoot me a cougar one of these days.
Most religion's just a bunch of fairy tales.
Careful. Cult fighters might still be around.
Yep, I get shit done.
It's the waiting that gets to me.
I know we're doing the right thing, I just hope we're doing it the right way.
If you're fighting the cult, I'm with you.
Cross a religious fanatic with a survivalist, and you get a Peggy.
You could say, I'm the brains behind the operation, and my brother is well, he brings the creative zest, I guess.
Never can have enough bullets.
I can't believe I used up a whole box of shells on bears last month.
I can't wait for the spread eagle to start serving some real food and drink again.
Who says the country doesn't have nightlife? Just listen to it.
Don't let your guard down, even for a second.
I could try hunting some deer tomorrow.
When you think about this shit, you think Nam, not stateside.
They're not getting me. No fucking way. Turkeys aren't as dumb as you think.
There's something about this place.
People around here used to know right from wrong.
First critter I ever brought home was a wolf pup. Folks had a bit of a conniption fit, but it was love at first sight.
When I hear that convoy coming, my heart just stops.
I should get myself a little pistol just for backup.
Just when I think I've seen everything in the county, you find a new little nook or cranny.
That reminds me. Ma still has my best shotgun.
I'll do whatever it takes to get rid of these assholes.
What can I say? I got a talent for causing pain.
I'll beg the Lord's forgiveness and stick the barrel in my own mouth before I let those fuckers take me alive.
I don't hunt anymore. Lost the stomach for it after seeing what the Peggies have done.
Nice day. Too bad it doesn't mean what it used to.
I wish there was a way to end this peacefully. Doesn't look like it, though.
I read bears are supposed to be pretty relaxed overall. Clearly they haven't met Hope County bears.
Folks come out here because it's a good place to shoot, shovel, and shut up.
I like to watch the road. Always have. My eyes are good, clear. Hearing's perfect. I can tell a vehicle's coming before it even gets here. Sometimes the birds even warn you.
I'm gonna fight these bastards the best I know how.
This is a good night for a patrol.
I bet you Hope County preppers are glad deep down that they finally have a good reason to hole up in their bunkers.
It's hard to make it here if you don't know how to take care of yourself.
Never did like seeing good people pushed around.
Makes my blood boil what they did to the Fang. Turning good-hearted animals into killers isn't right.
At night, I like to listen to the animals.
My wife and I met on a night like this.
Most calls to the sheriff's office come in after the bars close. Damn drunks.
Preppers who don't stock up on porno mags are doing it wrong.
Sunshine makes me want to bask like a lizard.
Bison are magnificent. Good to see more every year.
I should really go home to bed.
Best to keep prep stock diversified. Never know what'll become valuable after the shit hits the fan.
I'll be completely solar next spring.
Doesn't get any better than this.
There's these amazing chilies from out of state. Can't wait to get my hands on some after this is done.
Hot day. Should make some lemonade for the guys in the field.
Keep a good lookout for patrols.
Your gun's like your phone. You don't let anyone else touch it.
Never can have enough ammo.
Wonder where those freaks are hiding now.
You can tell Joseph's followers don't take care of their guns.
Okay, girl. It's go time.
Well, for holy folk, they sure put a lot of faith in their guns.
Ain't safe out here in the dark, especially with that cult around.
People get uglier and uglier, but this place just stays beautiful.
The police band always lights up at this hour.
Self-reliance breeds confidence.
At least it's not raining.
Everyone here's owned something small at one point or another. Being handy gives you an edge. You're always needed by someone for something.
People are counting on me.
Wouldn't know how to live anywhere else.
I'd kill my parents for a decent night's sleep.
Wasn't so long ago I was playing ball with my best friends and winning championships. Those were the days, my friend. Better days than now. Damn, it's getting cold.
Gotta remember sunscreen on a day like this.
At least preppers watch each other's backs.
So much to teach and kids just want to look at screens.
Just don't ever fall asleep.
They don't build things like they used to.
Some folks go a little crazy defending their provisions.
Damn cultists are hunting people like animals.
Nights here have their own kind of darkness. Not a street light in sight, but you can still see, you know?
That cult might be taking everything, but they ain't taking my memories. No, sir.
Hunting's too dangerous now. The piggies are out there shooting anything that moves. Could use a good drink, but even that's hard to come by nowadays.
Bring it on. I'm ready.
Just look at that night sky.
Ah, damn. The sun's out today.
I love the smell of the trees in these parts. I built a really nice fish rack for the smoker. Next up, elk.
Got this here weapon off a dead Peggy.
Nighttime's when the real hunters make their rounds.
The sage grouse is my kind of bird.
My cousin makes knife handles from elk antlers. Solid stuff.
Man, making my own ammo has saved me a fortune. Best decision ever.
Skinned my first rabbit when I was 5.
Nothing like that crisp air.
Everything's getting ruined.
When you run out of bullets, you can rely on a good blade.
I don't miss the city smog at all.
Nothing like night in the country. No artificial light to give away your position.
I gotta do something with that elk in the freezer.
God, I used to love this place.
I ain't resting till we get back what's ours. Mark my words.
My mom taught me how to shoot. Best skill a boy could ask for.
When I die, I'll feed the Montana soil that's fed me.
Place was paradise before the cult showed up.
God's in the trees and the land, not in some building.
It's not right the Peggies get to ruin a nice day like today.
A safe use of firearms is the key to a free society.
The body needs carbs, proteins, vitamins, minerals, and fats to survive. Sounds simple enough, but when you're living off the land, it's tricky as hell to cover all those bases. In the winter, I spent 3 months eating just rabbit. All I could find. Lost about 40 pounds and felt weak as hell.
Folks out here use guns to hunt animals. Peggies use guns to hunt people.
Used to think action movies were fun. I think I'm sick of action now.
Gotta wear layers on these Montana nights.
Nobody asked these assholes to come here. May as well be fair game.
People around here are tough. We'll have Falzan back on her feet in no time.
Darker than the devil's asshole out here.
Does that cult ever sleep?
Sighting down on a bear's a powerful feeling.
I feel like a kid being taken to the dentist.
Nice to see someone kicking a little Eden's Gate ass.
Only things that go bump in the night around here are Peggy's.
Making improvised shotgun ammo is a hobby of mine.
Gotta stay sharp now.
Only thing more dangerous than a cultist out here is a big old bear.
I've always dreamed of driving the Widowmaker. I can admit to being a bit jealous of you.
Still can't believe what happened to my Fang Center. Used to be a fun place for families. Used to be a bit of a tourist trap. Even turned a little profit. Not a lot, but enough. Now look at it. Overrun with crazies and murderous wolves. It's a nightmare. It's a disgrace.
This gun barely saw any action before the cult showed up. Hunting, sure, but that's only one season.
Gets cold out here at night, even in summer.
Gotta focus. Can't ease up for even a second.
Damn, just wish I'd brought another jacket.
Lots of people here could survive with no outside help whatsoever.
Preppers, survivalists, it's all the same shit to me. Folks just want to be prepared for what comes next. Nothing wrong with that. World's gone to shit. Anything can happen.
I used to take my stuff to a repair cafe. I repair my own stuff now.
Lots of things to shoot around here.
Wish I was home in a nice warm bed.
The reintroduction of wolves completely screwed up the valley's ecosystem.
Hunting takes a whole lot of time I don't have.
The most dangerous firearm is one dropped by a cop.
It's days like these that distract you from what's going on.
Homemade bear bait's the way to go.
Should've got new boots. Fucking hate shopping, though. That damn cult ruined my life, and I'm looking for payback.
I don't believe in luck, but holy shit, I should be dead.
That cult may have the firepower, but us hunters know how to shoot.
Used to love seeing those hummingbirds come round to my feeder in the morning.
Preppers are solid people, even the batshit crazy ones. Used to have a sense of community here. This ride reminds me of my first car. This whole situation spun out of control so quickly.
I need to inventory all my stored food.
Damn cult needs a bullet in the head. Every one of them. Don't care if some of them are brainwashed fools. No mercy.
The Peggies are slaughtering animals left, right, and center.
I like to sit out here at night and listen to the wolves howl. Brings a calm over me. Puts me right to sleep.
I'd like to know where the Peggies got all that military gear from. They're armed to the damn teeth.
Need a dark sculpin streamer for fishing this late.
This isn't exactly the collapse of global civilization, but it's pretty damn close.
Saw Peggy with grenades the other day. I swear to God, he had fucking grenades.
I guess you can prep all you want as long as you're having fun doing it.
I got lost out here when I was a kid. The most scared I've been in my whole life. Till recently, anyway.
I like it when it's not too humid.
I should start saving shells and make my own ammo.
When I kill an animal, I try to use everything. No scraps.
My roof rack fits 2 mountain goats, 3 if I tie them real tight.
Ammo, check. Weapons, check. Snacks, check.
We should get more knives.
Shit, wish I brought a change of undies. Things are getting swampy down there.
A great way to spot an outsider, he makes his TP out of sumac.
Now's the time.
Cult's got a messed up way of treating animals.
Wish more dads would show their girls how to fix a roof.
Some people just don't like having their secrets exposed.
There's so much beauty out here if we'd just stop and take it all in.
At this rate, the Peggies are gonna wipe out every animal in the county.
You see any sign of the cult, holler it out, will ya?
Finally, warming up a bit. Fucking rattlers all over the place.
Still wild to think not long ago my only targets were cans and the occasional duck.
Now the real monsters come out.
Freezing my fucking bag off.
Cult's got everyone armed to the teeth. Those fanatics will shoot anything that moves. Out here, you're connected to the land.
Put a gun in my hands, and I transform into something fearsome.
Feels like something's watching. Kind of getting that squatchy feeling. Whew.
Generators are in short supply around here.
Most of us only got the firepower we grew up with. We get a lot of the good stuff from raiding Peggy's.
Make sure your weapon's loaded.
This is gonna give me great stories to tell my grandkids.
You and me versus a fanatical army of religious zealots? Must be my lucky day.
There are skeletons in the foundations of that cult.
We can't lose. No matter what, we can't lose. I hope I can make a difference.
That clown was right. If you're good at something, never do it for free.
For a while there, it really felt like the end of the world for Fall's End. But then you showed up. Thanks.
I am so psyched for this.
I'm just trying to make myself useful.
Okay, I'll admit it. Blowing up all those silos was pretty fucking awesome.
Finally shot that bear that was going through my garbage.
Best thing about living out here on my own? The silence. Nothing beats it. I don't know how people live in towns and cities. All that noise and clutter and garbage. Ain't for me.
Bigger the caliber, the better.
Perfect day for a walk.
I do some of my best trail fishing at night.
Guns are complex machines. Maintaining one of these takes more brain power than you'd think.
My high school counselor said I had the aptitudes for law enforcement.
Nights get cold fast around here. Some folks think aliens are gonna invade. Woohoo. You want someone who can shoot? You're looking at her. I've seen bears come right into camp at night. Won't be a single wild creature left if the cult has its way.
Wish the Resistance had trained canines.
Some days the deer just walk up to you.
I haven't always lived this way. I used to have a job running a gas station. Used to work my ass off every day to make a buck. Had a wife too. But I wasn't happy. Wasn't me. I needed to simplify. I needed this.
Piles of fucking jerky. Shit's everywhere.
One shot's all I need.
Only thing my dad passed on to me was his hairline.
Wish ammo was easier to come by these days.
Sun's a great disinfectant. Should put out the sheets.
I figured my strong point is being able to stay focused under pressure and not get shot.
Anyone who threatens my home deserves to die. Simple as that.
I'm afraid to go to sleep. I'm worried the cult's gonna find me and take me.
Feels like the law's a relative concept these days.
I knew Joseph was trouble. I don't trust men with beards.
I wonder if I brought enough ammo.
Damn beautiful day.
Listen, I'm kinda new to all this fighting stuff.
Is there such a thing as too much ammo? I think not.
Just feel that sun. Can't stay cooped up indoors all day.
I'm gonna take as many of those bastards out as I can.
We gotta get rid of that cult. So we can prepare for the real end of the world. Solar flares.
Never really had a sense of purpose until now.
We're down to our last bulbs. If they break, we're fucked out here.
Too fucking hot. Makes me want to take off my skin.
It wasn't faith or freedom or firearms that won this fight. It was sin. Sin is human, man. If being a rational, loving human being makes me a sinner, then goddamn it, I'm going to hell. But you can be damn sure that John's already there fucking frying. That crazy fuck skinned people alive. He had hundreds of fuckers at his disposal and he still died. We still beat him, sinners and all. We're survivors. You ever need a reminder? You can think of John's shallow grave.
You know what they say. The only good Peggy's a dead one. Come on, get it together.
Peggies aren't the only ones with guns.
This would have been a perfect day to go for a hike.
Nothing like taking someone else's junk and turning it into something useful.
God, I love Montana weather. Air just feels lighter out here.
I should have learned how to shoot. I feel so useless right now.
The Peggies have planes and heavy guns. We can't compete with that.
Usually when I shoot something, I get to keep a trophy. Feels weird to keep like a human trophy. I'm still debating it.
Makes me feel a lot better about killing if I think I put their soul in a better place. But that's too easy. The world's become too reliant on technology. We've overcomplicated our lives with useless shit. All I need is air, water, food, shelter, and sleep. That's it. That's enough for me.
Used to be a whole lot more animals running free around here.
Mary May don't show it, but the last stretch of time's been hard on her. Bringing back her daddy's truck means more to her than you could ever know. Thank you.
Love the smell out here. It's like whatever the opposite of pollution smells like.
Days used to be a lot more quiet out here.
Being a prepper isn't always political. Sometimes it's just good to know you can survive without other people's help.
Don't know how you managed to get Mary's truck back from those psychos, but I'm real pleased that you did.
Resources are running low, but that ain't stopping us. You can do a lot with duct tape, you know.
I used to like looking at the stars, but now I'm afraid of the dark.
If you don't want to get fucked up by animals, stay out of the north.
Close in, nothing beats a shotgun and slugs.
You see one of them cult turds, you take your shot. You don't, you're dead.
A toolbox with all the trimmings is a gift that keeps on giving.
Days like these take me back.
Hate it when my rifle gets jammed. At least it doesn't happen often.
In retrospect, maybe I should have prepped more.
We'll have to work hard to preserve the sage grouse.
Kill them all. I'll kill them all.
It's cool for this time of year.
The cult thinks they're righteous, but ain't nothing right about them.
Shitty thing about the night. Either go blind or you build yourself a fire and make yourself a target.
I wish I could sleep, but I feel like I'm being watched.
Oh, gorgeous day. I should drive down to the creek later.
Boasting about your preps is asking to be looted.
Couldn't ask for a prettier day.
It's warmed up since yesterday.
Second to let my guard down, I hear something growling in the bush. Gotta stay sharp.
Blade's not sharp until it slides through leather like butter.
Squirrels got back in the garage. Sneaky bastards.
It's getting nippy.
Need a good fire watch at night.
I'm baking like a toasted smoky, it's so hot out here. No guts, no glory. Time to shine.
Walking around at night, that's how you get ate by bobcats.
It's darker than the inside of a cow.
A hunter's only as good as his gear, starting with his hands.
Think God's the feeling you get when you bag a 14-point buck?
If you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail.
I've got this. My family's counting on it. When you're a prepper, you think natural disasters and economic collapse, not violent cults.
I got an itchy trigger finger. It's an affliction.
Hard to believe it took a cult to bring people together like this.
Climate change is keeping wildlife in the high country longer.
I've been fixing stuff ever since I learned how to get a TV signal with a paperclip. Damn proud of it.
I'm itching for action and I want to scratch it.
Hope County was the most beautiful place on Earth before the Peggies arrived.
Was that you and Nick's plane making a mess of those cult silos? You sure are living your best life. There's nothing like machining your own parts. No need to depend on some catalog.
Tonight's a good night to die.
Hunter like me can take on any damn thing.
I should have never let my family out of the bunker. They didn't make it back in.
Wish more moms would show their boys how to darn a sock.
Gun's only as good as the shooter.
Sometimes, I just want somebody to move and get hurt.
I woke up feeling good this morning, like I could take on the world.
If all the people disappeared from Hope County, would it really look any different?
I know I should be sleeping right now.
Maybe my sister has some more rounds to lend me.
I don't like the nights like I used to. Too much I can't see.
Took down my first deer not too far from here.
I'm glad that deputy's out there putting up a fight.
A short barrel's better for stopping power, but you can't aim for shit.
I know what I have to do, just waiting for a chance to do it.
A knife is essential to survival. It matters what kind of knife, too. What you want is a fixed blade knife, none of those folding knives. But if you're stuck with that, it's better than nothing.
Fellas keep complaining they can't get bullets. Nothing I can do.
Religion's more corrupt than politics.
Wonder if the paddlefish population will bounce back.
Pretty soon there won't be nothing left to hunt.
Never seen a place so beautiful.
They underestimate you. They don't know what you can do.
I'd strangle Joseph Seed with my bare hands if I had the chance.
Cult moved in, started shooting anything with horns.
God's on your side, buddy. You got this.
Wade doesn't give a hoot about money. All he cares about is that damn bear. He's always been crazy about animals ever since he was a kid. Just wish he'd put a little bit more thought into the business side.
All right, you got this.
I probably have the biggest stash of condoms in the state now. Even diehards forget them.
Been harder to find good hiking boots since them Peggies moved in.
I can fix a generator, but I can't fix a cult of degenerates.
A real hunter cares about conservation.
I can shoot pretty well, but I don't know much about fighting. If we see a patrol, force them off the road, would ya? Thanks.
We're gonna have our hands full with these fanatics.
Not enough ass-kicking today. You know, we get a lot of prepper types around here, but I always say you can't prep for everything. It's all about adaptation.
Well, at least I'll be fighting for a just cause.
My gas grill's been a godsend these days.
Keeping stores of food and water just makes sense, no matter what you believe.
Hey, thanks for taking me along. Go stir-crazy just waiting or counting supplies.
Until recently, I feel like the world was kinda uncomplicated.
There's a reason for laws about transporting propane.
Been staring at that sky my whole life.
And to think, last week all I was worried about was the president starting a nuclear war over social media.
I used to grow enough food to carry me through the winter, but the Peggies clean me out.
It's days like these that I'm fighting for.
The Sasquatch is out there. I know it.
Miracle more people ain't been shot.
Who knows what kind of replacement parts are around anymore?
I should drive up to the lake soon, catch some trout.
Won't last long without drinkable water.
Nothing scares me more than the thought of my gun jamming.
I'd love to go on a safari someday, just to see other animals. Getting tired of the same old.
All this gunfire's gonna make my hearing go. You won't believe how many animals get killed by combines every year.
I thought trophy hunters were bad, but those cultists put them to shame. Nighttime's bad. That's when you can really hear the screaming.
Can't wait for the day when there's no roadblocks anymore.
I'm worried that I'm gonna let you down. That cult's gonna get what's coming to him.
Wish I could wrap my brain around what the Peggies really believe. Following one man so blindly, though, I don't know.
I wish we could just keep on driving and get away from all this craziness.
Those fuckers are gonna pay for what they did to me.
Way I figure it, that cult has gotta run out of ammo someday.
The Peggies put things out there in the dark that'll rip a man to shreds.
The way I see it, all we got is each other. We fight or we die.
If you can't beat them, join them. Feel sorry for those who went down that road. They're just scared.
My best friend went out fishing near John's ranch and never came back.
Just enough of a breeze today. Feels good.
I swear up and down I saw a golden deer once. Bright as anything.
Animals have been running scared ever since the seeds popped up.
The Widowmaker's back. Now it's starting to feel like home again.
This is my home, and I'll kill anyone who tries to take it away from me.
Damn, sun is scorching.
Just look at all the devastation the cult has caused.
Amazing how much the moon and stars can light you up without any light pollution.
Used to sleep soundly at night. Not anymore.
Cult's not gonna go away quietly, I'll tell you that much. Whitetail's got the right attitude. Fight fire with fire. But they gotta cut the head off the snake to have any real effect.
It's good sleeping weather. Wish I could sleep.
Took a few years before I got those walkways up. Weren't much of a priority, but raising grizzlies don't exactly pay the bills.
Can't wait to get home and clean my gun. Best part of the day. Extended mags can be a lifesaver in a firefight.
Eden's Gate took my guns. I miss them.
Maybe I can rustle up some grouse for dinner. When I shoot bighorn sheep, I get lots of mutton and a warm fleece.
Hunting people's a lot like hunting deer.
There's no time like the present.
God helps those who help themselves.
My sidearm could use a good cleaning.
I love to feel the heat of the sun on my skin.
Funny thing is I left the city because it was dangerous. Too many people were getting shot.
If I don't die fighting the cult tonight, I'll try again tomorrow.
Carry a gun? You better know how to use it.
Most folks will just curl up and die when the war comes. Not me. I'm ready.
The cult's firearms deserve better owners.
I feel like a dog is being taken to the vet.
Never get in between a bull moose and his lady.
I'll never give this beautiful valley up.
Better not be any bears out there.
Worry what people will think about us when it's over? I know I do.
If nothing happens soon, I might just take a nap.
In the end, it doesn't really matter who's right. Whoever's left standing wins.
Falls End wouldn't have survived without you. Way to be strong. That cult was hoarding explosives this whole time. That shit was practically in our backyard.
I've seen machine guns on Peggy trucks. How are we supposed to deal with that?
I should probably scrounge around for ammo later.
I heard a rattler the other day.
Too many resources has made mankind lazy, in my opinion.
Animal population around here's been going down recently. All kinds of species, too. Could be global warming. I don't know.
I sure do miss hunting you.
Cult tried to ban hunting or fishing for anyone but themselves.
Always loved teaching the constellations to the kids.
I'm always ready for anything.
Sometimes you just want something to happen, then it happens and you wish it hadn't.
Glad I don't bother shaving. Helps keep the skeets away.
Ever since those religious freaks came to town, it's been hard to get decent munitions.
Place was paradise before those freaks showed up.
I'm fucked if God is real.
Used to be a hunting guide round here before they took over.
Country folk know how to fix things. It's the only thing keeping us going.
Seeds, though. That'll be the key to sustainability after things go to shit. Can't grow nothing without seeds.
What a lousy day.
Whatever was in them silos sure blew up real good. Nice job.
I heard the Peggies are burning people alive. Can you believe that?
My friend said he saw my bobblehead selling on the worldwide internet. Apparently, folks were asking top dollar. Maybe that's my next move. Sell them on the worldwide internet, turn a quick profit, and then get the hell out of Montana. Yeah.
Most folks don't know Cheeseburger won't eat any old burger. He'd starve before he eats a patty without pickles.
It's eerie out here.
Eden Skate says we can't hunt. I say fuck 'em.
Man who can't change his own tires doesn't deserve them.
Nothing could ruin a day like this.
Beautiful day for a hunt.
Would not want to run into wolves right now.
If you can't fix a broken car with duct tape, you ain't gonna make it here for long.
Wolves been doing well. Guess reintroduction's a success.
You can sing all the hymns you want, but if you don't live the words, it's worthless.
Fuck those trucks.
Glad I still got calamine lotion for all these mosquitoes.
Give me the tools, I'll fix anything.
Rumble of one of their convoys was the last thing my wife heard.
With the price of ammo, you bet I'm not shooting as much these days.
I never thought of myself as a city gal. I'll never have enough money to build a bunker. I wish, though.
I'm no Geardo, but it pays to buy quality when it comes to prepping. Joseph's mentally ill, not a prophet.
I could watch this scenery go by forever.
Think I'm finally starting to get the hang of things.
I'm tired of digging holes in the ground.
I was just waiting for someone with brains and guts to call me.
I try not to think too much about what happens when we die. Peggies are making that hard, though.
A silencer would do my ears some good.
It's so dark, the mosquitoes are missing me.
Darkness works to our advantage.
Sure gets cold at night.